neighbors, welcome back to Sun River Shenanigans here at I Reckon So Farm. The holidays are up on us. Thanksgiving's next week. A lot of us are thinking about making pies, and I've been making pies for a long time now. And I know many people that could probably make pie crust with their eyes closed, standing on one foot. But there are also people that are just getting started and aren't that comfortable with pie crust, thinking they'll just buy some at the store. But it's so simple to make yourself at home, and I want to show you how I do it, and maybe you'll give it a try if you haven't before. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I use the food processor. For a double crust pie, which is what we're making today, we need 2.5 cups of flour, this is 2 cups, another half, that'll give us a little bit extra. And I make mine with butter, 2 cubes of butter, which equals 1 cup. And I just cut it into smaller pieces like this. This is salted butter, so if you have unsalted, you might want to add a dash of salt. And we're going to pulse it a couple of times. Just get the butter all broken into pieces and incorporated, and then we need a 1/2 cup of cold water. My water from the faucet is ice cold, so that's what I use. 1/2 cup. I always measure out a 1/2 cup, and then I don't put the whole thing in. A little bit, so a scant 1/2 cup. Okay, we're going to pulse this until it looks the way we want it. You can see how it's kind of starting to clump together. Okay. And there's our crust. Just like that. That's all there is to it. I'll put a little bit of flour on our breadboard here. Let's get 1/2 of it out for our bottom crust. together. When you roll it out, this is where you can see, you want to go one direction. You don't want to go back and forth like this, like that, or like that. You'll see, I keep flipping mine over because I don't want it to stick. Make sure it's not sticking. Just keep rolling it until it's as big as your pie plate. As big as you think it needs to be. And as thin as you want it. I have a small kitchen, so I have to use this space over the sink to have room to make a pie. But it works. Okay, then I like to roll it, put it over the rolling pin like that. Here's my pie plate. And we just set it on the edge like that. Get it centered. For the bottom crust, you want to trim it off like that. You can use scissors too, works pretty well. Make sure you don't have any cracks. Okay. Earlier I mixed together some canned peaches I canned last summer, 2 quarts of peaches. I just put in some sugar, cinnamon, a little nutmeg, and some flour to thicken it. So put that in. 2 quarts works just about right for a pie. Okay, set this aside. Well, let's get the rest of the crust out. Press it together. Okay, now this is where I'll grab the scissors. You want to leave a little bit more on the top crust because we're going to tuck it under to seal the top and the bottom together. Just like that. want to go. You lift up that bottom crust and tuck the top one under. All the way around. When I first became a housewife 53 years ago, I didn't know anything about cooking anything, and I depended on my cookbook. There wasn't any YouTube or even internet back then. And my Better Homes and Gardens book, I looked in the back of the pie section, and this is a later edition than the one I had then, but it shows you lots of different options for crimping your pie crust, and that's where I learned the way that I like to do it now. The way I like to do it is you take your thumb, you bend your forefinger like that, your thumb, and you press it together. Thumb on the inside and like that. Hope you can see it. All the way around. I think that makes a pretty edge on your pie. But I hope you can see that making a pie crust is not difficult at all with a food processor, right? Modern conveniences. And with a butter crust, really simple. And don't forget, we need to cut a design in the top to let steam out. And this is what I always do. Okay, that's all there is to it. So I hope you'll go ahead, if you haven't made a pie crust before, give it a try. It's really fun. It's not a chore for me. I enjoy baking, and I enjoy making pies, and I enjoy eating pies. And most pies take about an hour at 375 for an hour. You just want to watch if the crust is getting too brown, put some foil or something like, I have one of these, which is nice. You can set that on the edge when it starts to get too brown. Anyhow, into the oven it goes. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving with your family and friends.